What's up guys, I'm Ben, welcome to the channel. Today my sled is still in a million pieces, but I'm really hoping that after I get these Kemimoto ice scratchers on, I can take this thing out for a ride. I've just gotta be patient and wait for the parts to come in from the part warehouse. If you guys want to see what exactly happened with this right after I bought it, make sure and check out the videos on that. But today we're gonna get this installed, and then like I said, we will go out and test it. I'm gonna be kind of comparing this to the ice scratchers that I had on the F1100, which were a bit more of, I guess, a newer design, where this is sort of old, other than the fact that it has this claw on it to kind of stir up the snow a little bit more. So I'm gonna get these installed and then we'll see how they work. So I got the sled down to the ground rather than up on the lift because I need to make sure that whatever spot I pick is gonna be one that is low enough that this foot can still reach the ground. It also might not be a bad idea to have a buddy sit on the sled just to make sure that you understand where everything is gonna go when the skid is compressed. There's obviously a lot of moving parts in there, and you definitely don't want this getting pinched in something. And these do actually have a right and a left, and the only thing that's different is the fact that this is actually left-hand threaded on the left side, and that's just so when you're putting drag on this, it's actually gonna tighten it rather than loosen it. So if you switch these around, you might end up losing this on the trail, so you don't wanna do that. Make sure you get the odd thread on the left side here. I was actually thinking that I was just gonna make this hole right there a little bit bigger, but honestly, I think maybe I just talked myself into putting it right in between the wheels. I think we'll do that. So we've got this bend here, and I think this should pretty much just bend straight down towards the trail. I don't really think you wanna have to put it at too much of an angle. I guess you can if you really need to, but the nice thing about this design is that this little foot is adjustable, so we can move this around wherever we end up putting it. But essentially, we just want to make sure that when this is pushed flush to the rail, where it's going to get fastened down to, that this foot part is pressed into the ground at least a little bit. I don't really think this leaves me too much of a spot to hook this onto, but honestly, I don't know if this bends enough to actually make it around. Even back here, it didn't really seem like that was going to be an option, and I think even if it was, it just wants to kind of fall off, and it would kind of be on my bump stop back here anyhow. Then I'm just going to take my bolt that I pulled out of the scratcher, pull one of these little serrated washers off. That'll go on the opposite side. We'll stick the bolt with the lock washer and the other serrated washer through the back, and then reverse thread this on. Let's get this thing on the ground and see how I did. That looks like it should kick some snow up just fine. So obviously snow conditions right here look pretty good. Definitely throwing some snow out to the side. Honestly, the big claw design on here sort of made me nervous, especially for crossing roads and stuff, especially this time of year. I was kind of wondering if maybe those claws were gonna grab something and I guess hopefully just bust off and not wreck the rail. But I don't know, I'm a little bit undecided yet on how well I like this overall design. The fact that you can't retract them, and the fact that they kind of, I don't know, seem like maybe they wouldn't be so good to have on a sled when you're doing any off-trail riding. Now, obviously, if you don't have a crossover sled, that's not really something you got to worry about. It's not going to be the worst thing to have them down all the time, but not being able to retract them, and also having the portion that attaches to the rails be so long, I don't know, it just seems like when the sled's on its side, when you're carving, that those are just going to be like dragging on the ground, and obviously that's not a good thing. So I don't know, I mean, I guess maybe I'll do a little bit of testing with them on and just kind of see how that looks eventually when I can find some deep powder to ride in. But man, I don't know, I think I might just have to pull them off, which I guess maybe isn't the worst thing if you're really going to do all off trail. But I don't know, would be kind of nice to be able to just tuck them out of the way. It's sort of why I like the other set, but the other set that I had, I would have had to remove the I guess the first or the second wheel, probably the second wheel,
and I didn't really want to do that. It's nice to have the wheels there to keep the slides up off the ground when you're on flat surfaces. So yeah, again, I guess this all still looks pretty good, but how do they look back there? They look like they're kicking snow up into the right spots, or are they just spreading it out behind me and not putting it where I need it? I mean, we definitely want it on the slides, but we also want to kick it up underneath that snow flap too. I guess I won't know until I watch the video. That's alright, I got more important things to worry about right now. Is my camera still there? That'd be an important thing to worry about. It looks like it's still there. So what do you guys think of these? Let me know down in the description. Is this something that you'd be interested in? Do they look like they work good? Do you've used something that you think would work better? Is there some other type of cooling system that you think I should try? Let me know. Oh, here's some ice. Let's see how they work on the ice. They're doing the job. Kicking up some snow. Or I guess some shaved ice. How do they do at speed? Woo! $70. They're bouncing around. I guess one nice thing about not being able to tuck them away is that they're probably not bouncing around and hitting my slides or my rails. I love this part of the trail. This is a really cool section of woods. Let's see how that other side looks. So how's that one doing? Again, still pretty darn nice snow conditions, really, which is so weird for March. Figured this would be perfect time to test these things, but honestly, I don't even need them today. Still nice to know you've got them, though. I did not look forward to riding the sled without scratchers, so I was really happy. Woo! That Kemimoto wanted to send me a set to test, so big thanks to them for getting them to me. They got them to me before I got the sled back on the trail. So how's that one looking? Is that seem like it's doing its job? I know we're definitely staying cool. Actually, 120 is a little warmer than it has been. I think I guess this is probably because I stopped. We've been running right around anywhere, I guess, from like 113 to 120. I haven't seen anything warmer than that. Although I guess it's a little hard to see the gauge, so. Of course, these are nice because you can reverse with them. I've done that a couple times a day, even actually on blacktop, and had no issues. That is the nice thing about the cable scratchers of any kind. You don't have to worry about putting them up before you back up. That one hanging on. $70 miles an hour about. 116 degrees. Why is my shirt up around my belly button? This is uncomfortable. So like this, when there's an edge on the pavement, I was afraid they were going to want to grab that, but I haven't felt like the road was tugging me back onto it at all yet, so far so good there. How do they look on the corners? I've always kind of been concerned that they might get ran over by the track when you take corners like that, but again, because these can't really be folded back on themselves, probably don't have to worry about that. Whoa! There's some harder pack stuff. Are they doing anything? Alright guys, so it's a couple days later. I'm out on a night ride. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update since I've been using these a little bit more and the conditions are a little bit different. So today we had like I think it was like 42-degree day with the sun shining, so trails got soft. As you can see, people were out making tracks. Now everything is extremely hard and really grabby, and that is also making it a lot harder to kick any snow up on the slides. I'm more or less sitting on top of the snow. I'm not really getting down into it to kick the snow up, and I think that's kind of why I'm struggling to keep this thing cool. But even with the scratchers down, I'm still really kind of having a hard time keeping it cool. I got up to like 140, I think, and this thing normally in good conditions will run right around 113. And I did also loosen up the heads and turn them a bit because I noticed both from the 360 video and just from looking at them that it was kind of just dragging on that front tooth. So I don't know how much that helped. Obviously it's not doing enough for me since I'm still running a lot warmer than I would like to be. I did notice also that they were kind of wore down already. Now obviously being just stuck on that front tooth, that's not going to be the greatest for them, but still a little bit disappointing. There have been some sections where I feel like I can tell that the scratcher is definitely helping, but then there's also sections where they're definitely not helping enough. And as it gets colder and later at night here, I can tell things are getting a little bit extra crispy and definitely having a hard time. So I think I will long term probably test something else out. Can't say necessarily that I would say don't buy these, but I'm not overly impressed with how they're doing tonight anyways. So if you guys are interested in these, there'll be a link down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you get some sort of cooling system on your sled other than the cooling system built into the motor, I guess. It's definitely important to have something to kick that little bit of hard pack snow up on your slides, and especially to keep your two-stroke engines cool. They definitely want to keep them running around that 110 mark rather than up into the, well, pretty much anything higher than that. Like electronics, the cooler you can keep it, the better it's going to be, the longer it's going to run, and the less parts you're going to wear out. Whoa! It's definitely something that I put on all my sleds now. I ran without them for a long time and just didn't think much of it, but now that I've had a set and seen the definite difference that it makes, it's something that, like I said, I'm always going to ride with on any sled that's in my garage. So thanks for watching, guys. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky, get out, enjoy this beautiful world any chance you get. And if you can't do that right now, here's some more videos to check out in the meantime.